In this video, an overview is given of the information that one can find in the periodic table. There are 4 pieces of information that we can find in the periodic table that we can look up and use. The proton number, the relative mass, the group, and the period. Starting with the proton number tells us how many protons and thus how many electrons there are. The proton number, also called atomic number, is the number, the consecutive number. What is meant with this is that it starts with a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. So every following element has an atomic number or proton number that is 1 higher than the previous one. The other number in the periodic table is the atomic mass. This number is usually higher than the proton number and is not consecutive. What I mean by that is that, see here, elements 5, 6, and 7 have got atomic masses 11, 12, and 14. This is due to the fact that there are several isotopes, and isotopes will be explained in a different video. Following is the group number. The group is the vertical line, the column you can find the elements on, and the group number is equivalent to the number of electrons in the outer shell. Note, we number the groups 1, 2, then we skip the middle part. We call these the transition metals or elements. Then we continue 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the last group is 8 or 0. These are the noble gases that have a full outer shell and do not react. In some periodic tables, one also sees that the middle ones are numbered and then continued here with 13, 14, 15. Then one still needs to remember that, for instance, in group 3 or group 13, there are 3 electrons in the outer shell. The number of electrons in the outer shell we call the valency electrons, and this then relates to the valency, which is also called the combining power, and we need to know this in order to make bonds. And the valency electrons are also important to know regarding the formation of ions. Basically, an atom wants to have a noble gas structure. We call this the octet rule, and thereof sheds electrons or gains electrons. Lastly, we have the period, that is the horizontal line. And the horizontal line meets up with the electron shells. So hydrogen and helium have got 1 electron shell, and there are only 2 electrons in the first one. The following 2 periods, or following 2 shells, have got a maximum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons in the shell. If an element is in the 3rd period, it has 3 electron shells. So from a period we can derive the number of shells in the electronic structure. We also call these the energy levels. So from the periodic table we can derive 4 pieces of information, or we use the periodic table to get 4 pieces of information: the atomic number, the atomic mass, the group, and thus the amount of electrons in the outer shell, and the period. Those are the number of shells.